Hey, it's Corinne, your mental performance coach for everyday life. And welcome back to Everyday MVP. Let me ask you something. How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it when I feel more confident? I just need to stop overthinking first. I need to get rid of this fear. We've been sold the idea that confidence is a feeling of certainty, that confident people are certain, calm, unshaken, fearless. And that's the lie that's keeping you stuck. Confidence is not certainty. We can never be truly certain about anything in this life. And it's not the absence of fear, because most meaningful things require you to do them scared. Confidence is actually an act of trust. And when you understand that, everything shifts. Confidence follows evidence, and evidence comes from action. I see this play out all the time with my kids. The other day, I was working with my 4-year-old on his K and F sounds. He's told me before that he's afraid to talk to people because he knows they don't always understand him. And honestly, it breaks my heart. It's so hard to see your own kid struggle. And you can see the amount of effort that he puts in. The sounds are tricky for him. And because of that, he doesn't feel confident. But he tries anyway. He goes to speech therapy and we practice at home. When he says a word at home, I repeat it back the way it sounded to me. Then I'll gently model what it's supposed to sound like. Then we exaggerate the mouth positions, we slow it down, we try again, and then it clicks. When he gets it, when the sound finally comes together, I get so hyped for him, and his whole face lights up, and I can literally see his confidence growing before my eyes. Not because someone told him he was confident, but because he has evidence. He tried, he adjusted, it worked. And with every repetition, he trusted himself a little bit more. Repetition builds skill. Skill builds evidence. Evidence builds trust, and trust becomes confidence. That's the formula. And it doesn't change just because we get older. Maybe for you, it's not speech sounds. Maybe for you, it's making the phone call you've been avoiding or starting that workout you've been putting off. Maybe it's having the hard conversation with a loved one or speaking up in a meeting or class or finally applying for that job you feel underqualified for. And yet, so often we wait, waiting to feel ready. We fall into this trap all the time. I have to feel ready before I start. I have to eliminate doubt before I move. I have to know I'll do it perfectly before I try. But confidence isn't about eliminating fear, doubt, or uncertainty. It's about trusting yourself enough to act despite them. By definition, confidence means a belief that you can rely on someone or something. Think about it. Think about the people in your life you trust. Why do you trust them? Because they show up, they follow through, they keep their promises, or they communicate when something changes. They've given you evidence. So here's the shift. Become that person for yourself. Self-confidence is being able to rely on yourself, to trust your abilities, your judgment, your capacity to handle what happens next. And trust isn't built by thinking about doing something. Let me say that again. Trust isn't built by thinking about doing something. It's built by showing up and keeping the promises you make to yourself, especially the small ones that no one else sees. And sometimes keeping those promises looks like this. There's a line in one of my favorite movies, We Bought a Zoo. Quote, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it. Close quote. That quote is about courage. But here's what we don't always realize. Courage builds trust. Every time you act bravely, even for 20 seconds, you collect evidence. Evidence that you can handle it. Evidence that you can survive the discomfort. Evidence that you're capable of more than you thought. And that evidence becomes trust. And trust becomes confidence. Not because the fear disappears, but because you've proven to yourself that you can move forward with it. And sometimes that proof only takes 20 seconds. Just 20 seconds of acting in alignment with who you've decided to become, despite how you feel. And here's something else that's important. Confidence does not guarantee success. You can feel incredibly confident and still perform poorly. And you can feel zero confidence and perform beautifully. So, what really matters? Preparation matters, focus matters, effort matters. Confidence is nice to have, but it's not the requirement. Action is. And the reason you can take action, even when it's uncomfortable, is this. Self-confidence is learning that you're human. You will have doubts. You will have fear. You will have moments where you don't feel ready. The difference isn't whether fear shows up. The difference is how you respond when it does. Do you wait or do you act? And that's where the magic happens, in those small moments when you decide to show up anyway. So today I want you to focus less on how you feel and more on what you're going to do. Ask yourself, what have I been waiting to do because I don't feel confident enough yet? And if that doesn't reveal the next step, ask, what would I do if I trusted myself completely? Now, take that answer and write down the first 3 steps you need to take. And don't get stuck planning. Take the first step this week, because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust. Every small action adds evidence. Every repetition strengthens confidence. Confidence is the result of consistent action aligned with who you've decided to become. Just like my kid, just like anyone learning anything new, it starts with showing up. One small step, one repeated attempt. That's how you become your own most valuable player. And remember, Mind League team, your most valuable player is you. Every day is a new day. Breathe in, breathe out. You've got this.